Hello, I wanted to introduce something new that I'm bringing here to Cobra's Medicine Bag. And it involves a personal journey that I'm taking, and I just want to share it with all of you over here, and let you into a little bit of my own world and how I apply Ayurveda, intuitive eating, um, and my whole growth process, my own personal development approach to life, to whatever I'm working on. And at this time, health is a big focus for me. And I have made a decision that I want to be in the best shape of my life by the time I turn 50. And I turned 50 um, on October 13th of this year. So, it's a big goal for me. And I've already been on a weight release journey for many years. I have a history of eating disorder that started when I was pretty young. I first had tendencies, appearing around the age of 7. There's been a couple interventions in my life. I struggled with anorexia when I was younger. And then I had a pretty serious anorexia health crisis when I was in my early 20s. But fortunately, I went and I got myself some help and I did the work. And, anybody who's been on that journey knows it's a mind, body, spirit journey, and it goes really deep. And you got to look at the roots of a lot of painful stuff. You got to do your trauma work, and it was an intense process, but I am very proud to say that since that anorexia crisis, back when I was about 22 years old, I have been in recovery from eating disorder. And I'm in this beautiful place in my life now where I can share the gifts that came forward from my own journey into healing in a way that can support and hold space for others who are going through their healing process, because I don't adopt the title healer. I don't believe in calling myself a healer. I believe in the axiom, healer, heal thyself. I'm a space holder. That's how I define the work that I do. I do have access to certain information. I do have access to certain knowledge. I am a licensed Ayurvedic practitioner. I'm licensed through NAMA, the National Ayurvedic Medical Association. I was taught by the amazing Deanna Batdorf, and just a wonderful, gifted teacher who's located out of Sonoma County, California, which is where I'm originally from, but right now I'm living in the Detroit area, and I really like it here. I really enjoy it here. It's a totally different beat, and it's really speaking to me. And I also have so much experience as a body worker. I've been a body worker for, gosh, almost 28 years. I have a lot of experience in physical therapy oriented body work, rehabilitative body work, sports massage. I did a lot of deep tissue, Heller work, restructuring, transformational body work, I call it. And I'm also an intuitive eating counselor, and I'm listed on the National Directory. And I was trained by Evelyn Triboli and Elise Rush, and they're the authors of Intuitive Eating. And I feel just so grateful that I had the healing process I had, and that I got to see so many dimensions and sides of it, that I'm able to share that experience with other people to support them in their healing journey, because I really can understand it from every different angle you can think of. At my worst, in my place of crisis, I was 89 pounds. I'm 5'7.5". The doctors told me that I was very fortunate to make it through that, to be here, and I'm very grateful that I am too. And I recognize it now. There was a time I didn't, but I do recognize what a gift it is just to be here now. And I'm so appreciative that something inside of me gave me the strength to reach out for help, which is a really hard thing to do when you're in that position. It just set me off on such an amazing healing journey, though. And I never thought it would lead me here to being on YouTube and to speaking publicly in this way. But at the same time, I know this is the next natural extension and what I need to do, because I felt very alone in my struggles. And there was a time where I kind of just kept it all inside of myself. I didn't really feel there would be anybody that would understand. And so it's become very important for me, just from my own personal experience, that if there's a way I can help even one person not feel alone, then I'm doing the work. I'm doing the work I'm here to do. So that's why I thought of bringing this vlog forward onto Cobra's Medicine Bag, because this is my personal journey, and I just want to introduce all of you to a part of me, okay? So 28 years of recovery, roughly, around eating disorder for me. And it's been a process with that. Any recovery process, takes time, and it doesn't go in a straight ascent, right? You got challenges. There's peaks and there's valleys, but every time you get a little farther, right? And so I just want people to know, like, stick to the path. If you've decided that you really want to transform your life, if you're struggling with something, don't give up. Stick to the path. And even if you have a challenge, you feel like you slid a little bit, reach out, get support. You can reach out here. You can leave a comment on this vlog anytime you want, all right? And I'm here to talk, to offer support, to hear about your experiences, to hold the space for you all. So that's really my intention with Cobra's Medicine Bag here on YouTube, is I want to create a healing space where people can come, they can get support, they can meet and gather in community, and get information that can help them be empowered in their own healthcare, in their own personal development, in their growth process. And so the best way to do that is first by really introducing you all to me and sharing with you my experience and kind of how I move through things now. And I debated whether I wanted to bring this particular part of my experience onto Cobra's Medicine Bag with the work I'm doing around intuitive eating counseling, because I do tend to work with a lot of people who've dealt with eating disorder. And I have my own theories about eating disorder, okay? I'm not going to go into that really deeply in this particular vlog right here, but I will be doing some lives on this channel, and that's going to kick off this week. I'm going to start doing some lives where I dive into intuitive eating and how do you merge intuitive eating with a healthy lifestyle. And I'm doing it. I'm doing it and I'm living it. And I'm somebody who has a history of eating disorder who is now recovered. And I really want to make this clear, like, you can recover. Sometimes you'll hear people say, oh, once you have eating disorder, you'll always have eating disorder. I don't want you to feel like this is something you have to carry with you your whole life. You absolutely do not. You absolutely do not. You can absolutely get to the place where you really love and accept yourself, all dimensions of yourself, where you have appreciation for your body, where harming yourself in that way is the furthest thing from your mind, and it's just something you could never bring yourself to do. And it's through that recovery process and all the deep healing work you do, but it really involves you being able to be rooted in your power. And so I want to support all of you who deal with these challenges in feeling empowered, and to know that you can recover and you can get beyond these challenges, and you can get to a place where you have true health. And true health isn't about, oh, I look really hot in a bikini. Okay. I mean, that's nice and all. It's nice. We all want to look our best, all right? But true health is mind, body, spirit in alignment. It's when your body has reached a size and a shape that is natural for you, but you feel strong in that body. You have good energy in that body. You have vitality in that body. You appreciate your unique body. You love your unique body. You don't feel the need for it to look like anybody else's, for it to be any other way. And that care and that love and that appreciation for your body, it doesn't have to wait. It doesn't have to wait until, oh, I'll start being nice to myself and treating myself well and treating myself to things once I'm, 25 pounds less. Bullshit. If you are somebody who has weight to release, it starts by you loving up on yourself right now. And understanding that you got that weight on your body because there's something else going on. And let me tell you, it's not about the food. It's not. It's deeper than that. And we'll be getting into that with the intuitive eating talks I'll be doing. First one this week, okay? I'm going to be kicking off a series where every week I just come on live and share whatever wants to come through. I got so much to share and so much I just want to just pass on, and please, I hope you'll join in the discussion. I'll try to get on somewhat of a regular schedule with it. I'm trying to get those things dialed in. I'm a very kind of free flow person. I just work with the energy, so that aspect is a little challenging for me, but I'll try to bring in some regular days and times. All right. I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress. So I decided to come back around the bend that I wanted to get in the best shape of my life by my 50th birthday. And I already have a really balanced, healthy diet. I have a diet, and I want us to get over this word diet, okay? Diet is just the way you eat, all right? There's too much kind of people get triggered, right, around certain words in the intuitive eating community. People get triggered if you even mention the desire that yeah, I would like to drop some weight. But I don't feel it's really helpful to not talk about these things. It's important to talk about these things. It's important to bring these things out to the open. And the reason being is that eating disorder at its basis is really rooted in shame and secrecy. So as long as you're keeping things secret, as long as you're, hiding things, then you're more prone to act out of your disordered tendencies. You're more prone to act out of unhealthy tendencies. And, eating disorder isn't just anorexia, bulimia, what you typically hear. There's also EDNOS, eating disorder not otherwise specified. And that's a large group of people. If you are, in a position where you're not eating from biological hunger and where your eating is driven by your mind and not by what your gut is telling you, you have eating disorder. You have eating disorder not otherwise specified, may not be clinically defined, but you don't have a natural, healthy relationship with food, and that applies if you're a chronic dieter. You've gotten used to eating according to rules, external rules. Are you really even in touch with your body anymore? Or are you doing everything in terms of how you eat, how you exercise? Are you doing everything solely because you want your body to be a certain size? You want to hit a certain weight. You want to look a certain way. You know what I'm saying? That's not natural. You didn't come out of the womb with that as your, MO for how you nourished your body. That was groomed into you. That was conditioned into you by media, by beauty standards, okay? And it actually creates problems, which is how I got to be where I am today. And I have released a lot of weight. I have in my recovery process, because after I went through my anorexia crisis, as I was going through rehabilitation, I put on a lot of weight very rapidly because I had really just done so much damage, physical damage to my body. And I will tell you that over a period, it took a long time, but through intuitive eating, over a period of about 10 years, I got to the point where I released 150 pounds and I have maintained it. I've maintained it now for over a decade. Okay, so I'm still in a place though where my body has a bit more weight that it does need to release. That being said, I don't know what I weigh. I don't know what I weigh anymore. I don't step on a scale. I go by how I feel. You know, it's pretty obvious to tell where you're at. It doesn't matter to me what I weigh. I don't care what I weigh. What I care about is that I feel healthy, I feel vital, I feel strong. And so I decided that since I wasn't going to go on a diet because I'm a natural eater again, you know, I don't do this to my body anymore. When I'm hungry, I eat. When I'm full, comfortably full, I stop, you know? And now and then when I want a treat, I have a treat. And I don't go into some binge mode with it because, hey, I can have a treat whenever I really want one. It's not like I'm going to eat treats all the time. It's amazing how restriction can really compel you to have imbalanced, you know, behaviors around treats. Treats are a natural part of life, okay? So there's nothing that needs to change with the way I'm eating. There's nothing that needs to change with my diet. I'm not going to get into clean eating either, you know, because clean eating is actually just another diet. It really is. And there's a lot of problems that have developed because of this. Orthorexia, people who are obsessed with having eat so clean they can't deviate from that. It causes a lot of suffering. I've worked with a lot of people with that issue, and it causes them a great deal of suffering. It really does. People can get to the place where they don't even know how to eat anymore. We've really gotten away from just being able to naturally respond to our bodies and why we're so disconnected from our bodies. And there's many reasons for that. There's many reasons for that. Some of it's emotional, some of it's trauma-based, you know. We'll bring all that in with these intuitive eating talks. But I'm going to share my personal experience with you so you can see how I move through this challenge of when I do have this history, when I used to struggle with eating disorder, when I am in a place now where I want to get healthy, I want to get fit, but I don't want to go back to that place where I fall into restrictive patterns. I don't want to go back to that place where I get fixated on how my body's looking. I want to stay in my recovery. I want to stay in this place. And yet physically, I know because my joints are hurting, my back is hurting. My doctor said, hey, it would be wise for you to like trim down a bit. How you can go about doing that without throwing yourself off base, okay? And instead actually realizing that you are healed and what a beautiful experience it can be. So I'm going to share my experience with you. I am doing the Chloe Ting 2022 Summer Shred Challenge. I'm fortunate enough that I have my sister, my dear, dear, dear friend. I've like known her forever. Almost 30 years I've known her. I actually met her just after I had, you know, bounced back from my anorexia crisis. So she really was with me at the start of my journey, you know, and she's doing it with me. She's across the country. She's where I used to live back in Sonoma County, California, Jen Ray. And I'm all the way across the country now. So we hop on the phone early in the morning as soon as we get up and we work out together. And we just started this challenge together and I'm moving through it as an intuitive eater. And I thought it would be a really positive experience to share here at Cobra's Medicine Bag so you can actually see what does recovery look like in real life, you know? What does it look like in real life? So I'm going to be popping in once a week here, and I'm going to be sharing with you how the challenge is going for me. But here's the thing. I'm not going to talk about measurements. I'm not going to talk about weight. I'm not going to post before and after pictures, dramatic before and after pictures. I'm going to share with you where I put my focus when I'm doing this challenge, which, by the way, has been phenomenal for me. And this is actually my fourth round of the challenge. I did 2 rounds of the 2022 weight loss challenge with Chloe Ting, and then I did the 2022 Get Tone challenge with Chloe. And now I am doing the summer shred and just completed day two of the workout. And it's just feeling so good. I've had such an amazing experience on so many levels. I'm really excited to share what the journey has been like for me, share what I've been doing with all of you. I wanted to do this intro video for you today just to let you know what I'm doing and to have, your eyes open for these to pop up each week. And please, anything you want to bring in the comments, bring it in. Let's talk about it. I think it would be great to form a supportive community around this. I'm definitely in a place where I do have some weight to release. I do have some issues. My osteopath told me my bone frame, would benefit from not having as much weight on as I do, which I don't know what that weight is because I don't even have the doctors weigh me anymore. But I have some problems with some mobility in some of my joints, like my femur tends to kind of like go a little out of socket in my hips sometimes. That can cause me some issues. And it's all just related to it's too much weight bearing down on my bone frame. So even though I released that 150, I still have a little bit more to go. I don't really feel it's that much. I mean, I feel pretty good in my body, and I'm just letting my body settle in its happy place. I'll never know what my final weight was because I'm not going to bother checking. And initially I was, doing my waist measurement, and then I would do my total body measurements at the beginning of each challenge and then at the end, just because I was curious, like, is there a physical shift? And then I've really decided moving forward, and for the sake of this series, I'm going to drop that. So I'm taking the challenge in a whole new direction where it's like, I really want to embody this fitness journey from the perspective of totally going through it from the vantage point of how is my body feeling. I'm going to use this as a challenge to get even more rooted in my body, more connected with my body, where it's not about me gauging my health according to how many inches I'm down or what size I'm wearing or anything of that. I just really want to do this super deep dive into my body and sink into the experience of how it's feeling. What is my body communicating to me about the exercise I'm doing, about the foods I'm eating, all of this stuff. So I'm really excited to bring that forward because I think it's really going to shift a lot of things for those of you who are feeling challenged about how to do this, like how to bridge that gap. How do I get back to a place where I can incorporate training and do so in a way where I don't go out of balance? How can I actually make this a lifestyle and in a way that's sustainable, that's not imbalanced, that's not something that I don't enjoy, that's not something I have to grit my teeth through, but is actually like, I want to do it. I'm enthusiastic about it because I'm really experiencing the reward and I feel so wonderful in my body and mood and on every level, right? And as I go through this Chloe Ting challenge, I'm also infusing, my Ayurveda in it, my intuitive eating in it, all of it. So I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to share this with all of you so you can get a feel for the kind of work I do, and also just how I apply it to myself. I feel like it's something very helpful to share with the community here. So I hope that you find it's helpful for you too. Um, Yes, and it's, and it's great for me. It's great for me to drop in and have that community. It's supportive of me as well because I really benefit, from the people who do bring their voices in and share their experience. I definitely feel supported by that in my own process, so it's this beautiful reciprocal energy, and that's what I really want to nourish here. The two workouts we've done up to this point in this Get Shredded challenge are are great. They felt really good. I was sweating buckets as usual. I've gotten used to that with Chloe. I really think I'm going to enjoy this challenge because one thing that I felt was sort of missing from the Get Tone challenge was I missed that hit. I did miss the high intensity interval training. That has really become a way for me to just like, channel so much emotion and so much stress. It's been really amazing. I've had a lot of emotional release as I've done these challenges, just from the way that, with that intensity of that cardiovascular, there's something about getting that circulation going, getting the lymphatic system going. It's such a big release. Your lymph system is intimately connected with your emotions. So as you clear these blockages in your lymph, you get your lymph moving, then all the old emotional stuff moves and you can just clear so much energy out. And that's been so amazing for me. I feel so much lighter, but it's like a lightness of being that's not just like physically. It's like, yeah, physically I feel lighter. I feel the changes in my body. I feel my muscles firming up and strengthening, but it's like it's also this lightness of being. It's this mental lightness, it's this emotional lightness. It's just feeling like moving more into that energy of expansion as opposed to contraction. That's just been such a rewarding part of this experience. Even my energy is more expansive. I have more energy. I feel more clear. And it's because of that movement, and the cardiovascular in particular really helps me with that. The Get Tone challenge was like pretty much all strength training. And yeah, the strength training was done circuit style. So, I mean, there is a little bit of a cardiovascular component to it, but not as much. And so I really missed that aspect. But I can already tell with this Get Shredded challenge that both pieces are coming into play, the strength training with the high intensity interval training. And the way I've been going through my challenges is I've been periodizing, okay? So I pick a challenge, I go through the challenge for a month, then I take a week-long active rest where I still get in some movement every day, but the movement is more gentle, it's more mild. I might be more focused on yoga. I might do a lot of walks with Ted, my German Shepherd buddy. It's just more gentle activity. I might do a little freestyle dancing. I'm a dancer. I've danced professionally, and so that's something that really like feeds my soul. So, it's more just kind of flow with what I feel that day. It's an opportunity to, yes, get some movement in, but let my body relax. And then I go on to the next challenge. So I've done the past 3 challenges in this way, and I'm coming to this challenge off of my last active rest period. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited that this challenge is bringing back the high intensity interval training, and we also did weights today. So I'm feeling really good about that. I'm excited to get back to that. I'm ready to combine those two. I've sort of built up to this as well. So that was very good for me. It's also great to see how far I have progressed, how much my athletic performance has improved. When I first started doing the Chloe Ting challenge, I remember the first day 1, I was so so overwhelmed. by the prospect in front of me. I mean, even the warm up felt like such a workout to me. I was like, this is the warm up? Are you kidding me? And I had to modify a lot, and I did a lot low intensity, and I had to respect where my body was at and not push it beyond its means. But now it's really cool because now I'm in this place of being able to, work at high intensity, do all the moves, not need to modify. And so I'm super excited. But I worked my way into it. I eased my way into it. So we'll talk more about that as I do these updates each week and I share my experience in real time. And I just wanted to say hello and let you know what was coming in here and how much I look forward to sharing this experience with all of you. Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, share, drop a comment. I'd love to connect with you all, and I look forward to seeing you next week.